Hey, what's going on, guys? In this series, we're going to be focusing on what exactly Call of Duty Black Ops 5 Zombies needs to succeed. And in this specific video, which is part 1 to the series, we will be discussing perks. Do make sure you check the description for the rest of the videos in the series, either in a playlist or laid out in a list, as we're going to be going over many other topics. I just didn't want to make one 800-year-long video. Now, as we're getting into the video, one thing that I want you to note is that for every problem I pick out, I will also provide a solution. Many people in today's world, ranging from everyday life to politics, complain about certain things but just don't provide a solution to their problems. Therefore, some kind of solution will be proposed when needed. The main few topics of this video will be JUGG, double tap, speed cola, quick revive, dying wish, and even a little bit about the pack punch system as well. Now, with all that being said, let's first clarify that in my mind, both perk systems, meaning the pre-BO4 perk system and Black Ops 4's perk system itself, are pretty damn good. The issue though is that Black Ops 4's perk system, although allowing for some extra customization in certain ways, was brought about way too radically. Basically what I mean is that the perk system from before got entirely overhauled instead of being incorporated right into the new one. Do I think Black Ops 4's perk system can work with adjustments? Yes, definitely. However, is it really necessary? Let's see. Well, the main reason why Treyarch even touched the perk system in the first place is because in their eyes, there was way too many crutch perks that people felt they needed to buy every single game. This is definitely true. When you load up a game of Black Ops 3 Zombies and want to do any Easter egg, there is usually two crutch perks you head for, JUGGERNOG and double tap. JUGG increases your health and double tap increases both your weapon damage and rate of fire. Therefore, both were extremely beneficial, and at the top of the list of perks, you'd want to survive longer. Let's now fast forward to Black Ops 4 Zombies. Forgetting JUGG and double tap for just a second, we have two other perks in BO4 Zombies that can be seen as crutch perks as well, Dying Wish and Winter's Wail. Some may argue Winter's Wail, which is fair in a way, but Dying Wish is definitely, indisputably, a crutch perk that everybody buys in BO4. In fact, it's probably one of the most powerful zombies perks of all time. Instead of downing it, you survive and go into a mode called Berserk mode for a few seconds. After that, your Dying Wish just has to recharge and you can continue to get hit to 0 health without dying, and this cycle can continue for as long as Dying Wish is charged and you survive. That's OP as heck. The point here is that although they may have removed one or two BO3 crutch perks, they just added new ones into Black Ops 4, making one of the premises for this new perk system pointless. Anyways, moving back towards JUGGERNOG and double tap, Treyarch actually implemented them, quote unquote implemented them, into the main Black Ops 4 mechanics to avoid the need of actually purchasing them. Basically, in your normal classic game of zombies, you start out with 200 health displayed on screen. This is the maximum amount of health you can get excluding armor, which is 4 hits from zombies, down from 5 in Black Ops 3 with JUGG. Personally, I think this was an amazing idea in theory, but in practice kind of takes away from the traditional zombies experience. Yes, it does quote unquote fix having to buy JUGG, and I wouldn't even say that this is bad, rather just not really needed. For example, in a game like Black Ops 3, we'll say Mega Gobblegums aside, you'd really want to maximize your points by shooting the zombies in the leg and then knifing them. Once you start to open up doors, you have a decision to make. Do I hit the box? Do I buy a wall weapon? Or do I tough it out to get JUGG as early as possible? Now, the situation I'm talking about does tie directly into another BO4 issue, and that would be the point system, which we will discuss in another video. Getting back to my point though, no pun intended, this is a high risk, high reward situation. If you hit the box and get shit, then you have no points and are left without JUGG for a longer period of time with an inefficient weapon. However, if you get a good gun, you have something to kill zombies with, hopefully until you're able to get JUGG, which is obviously a good thing and something you always hit the box for. Really, either way, the point is to force you to make a decision in general. This decision can affect the entire outcome of the game as well, depending on what type of player you are. And on top of that, these decisions usually always feel purposeful and embedded into the core zombies experience. Wall gun, box gun, or JUGG, which one do I do? Progression is felt after this decision. Going back to Black Ops 4, that decision doesn't exist at all. Again, partially because of the point system as well, as you can use any weapon and get the same amount of points, but also because there's no bare bones progressive grind in the game. Even if you start out with a pistol, every gun and every decision feels level and is not really all too important. It feels like you're only working on getting to power and pap and don't even have to worry about the other smaller scaled stuff like beforehand, which again sounds good, but really doesn't feel right in the game. The longer zombies task list, especially at the beginning of the game, is what makes zombies zombies in a sense. You start completely from scratch and then work your way up to acquiring new guns, opening more doors, buying more perks, and then upgrading some weapons. That's the core zombies experience that everybody knows of, and in Black Ops 4, it's just not there. Staying with perks though, let's put aside the beginning of the game. Once you're set up, isn't it better to not waste a perk slot on JUGG? Well, yes, I actually would say so, but again, I just don't feel like the reward is worth it, meaning that a free perk slot that can go to another perk isn't worth having because of the takeaways it presents to the core zombies experience. Even after a down, you'd be struggling to get back to the jug machine to get that perk because you were genuinely scared for your life. That panic no longer once again exist in BO4 because you always have the same amount of health, which I know, I'll say it again, it sounds good, but it just takes away from the main zombies experience. We'll get back to this issue and what I believe should be done about it at the end of the video in my quote-unquote grand proposal. Moving on to the other perks like Double Tap, Quick Revive, and Speed Cola. Quick Revive in my eyes seems to be perfect on solo opposed to BO3 because you don't need it at all. You used to need it to revive yourself in solo, and on BO4 you automatically have a given amount of self revives, which is 2, without the need of that perk slot. This is perfect for this situation. No complaints at all. Great job with Quick Revive on that one, Treyarch. Now as for Speed Cola, I generally keep the same mindset I do with Quick Revive. In Black Ops 4, Speed Cola doesn't even exist in perk form. Rather, you get it after acquiring all 4 of your perks. So technically, it's always your 5th free invisible perk. And from the second they put this in the game, I always thought that this was a great idea. They definitely could have buffed it a pinch, but for not wasting a perk slot, I'm 100% fine with the way Speed Cola was integrated into Black Ops 4 zombies, and I have no issue with their returning in the future. Moving on to Double Tap, this is one of the biggest issues in the entirety of BO4 zombies. Double Tap, any version of it, just doesn't exist. Treyarch's fix was a modified pack-a-punch system, which conceptually was a great idea, but it was just not implemented well at all. Every gun pretty much feels like garbage, but very quickly, for those of you guys who don't know how the PAP system in BO4 works, basically how it works is you put your gun in the pack-a-punch machine, okay, now it's pack-a-punched, you can then put it in an additional 4 times for 2,500 points, and repack it to gain an additional 25% damage on your gun. After packing it for the 4th time, you can then repack it again if you want, but it'll be for 1,500 points and to only change your double tap ability. Again, no double tap with this system in place sounds pretty cool because you're saving a perk slot once again. However, it literally feels like the guns aren't pack-a-punch sometimes. Like, you can obviously tell they are, but for the most part, man, they suck. Also, there's never a rate of fire increase either, so that really sucks too. That's my problem with double tap not being in Black Ops 4, and again, my solution will be proposed near the end of the video, and if you guys come out to my live streams, you probably already know what this one is. Let's now move into Perk Jingles and pregame perk selection. Now, these don't necessarily go hand in hand, but we'll just start out with the Perk Jingles since they are the fastest, and what the hell happened to them? Treyarch completely abandoned individual Perk Jingles and their machines, like what the hell? Regardless of the system, there could have easily been a very immersive perk machine experience, like in previous games, but they opted for the more generic machines. Seeing, hearing, interacting with not only your environment, but your ever so unique perk machines was an awesome part of zombies that again is not entirely there anymore in Black Ops 4 zombies. I'll touch on the solution to this very shortly, of course, at the end of the video, so let's just now move into the second half of this specific section, which is about the pregame perk customization. I think it's really awesome that we get to pick our perks and their locations before the game. I think that's great. This is one of the best parts of Black Ops 4 Zombies mechanics. Do I think it's perfect though? No, because with certain perks it could seem a little bit flawed, but it can definitely be worked with if needed. Again, I don't have a big issue with the fact that we can pick our perks pre-game. I really like that. However, I do wish Secret Sauce didn't exist and there were Wonder Fizzes on the maps instead. That would pave way for Unquenchable to come back as well, where they can obviously make money in that category, and it just feels right to have a Wonder Fizz machine instead of a perk in one of your perk machines. I don't know, it's just weird, dude. Again, although I prefer to have the perks laid out or randomized for me within the game by Treyarch themselves, it's still nice to have the option to put whatever you want, wherever you want, and really, it isn't too big of a deal. I am okay with it, but I'd still prefer the older one better. That's just really what it comes down to. Which one's better? The older one, in my opinion, just still works a lot better, although the customization in the newer system is there. It's a very hard area. It's a very hard topic to talk about because there's so many pros and cons to each system that, you know, it's hard. But again, if I had to pick one, I'm going with the older perk system because that's just the classical zombies feel. It just feels right. With that being said, what are my proposals for Jug, Double Tap, / Pack-a-Punch, the perk machines, and their jingles? Starting with Jug, option number 1 would be scratch the new health system and perk system and revert back to the regular one completely, which I personally think is the best bet, or they can implement Jug in with the new perk system. Simply add Jug back as a perk, knock the health down in 3 hits, and there you go. It may not work all too well, that's easier said than done, so I don't know if that's the best option, but hey, if it had to be done, why not try it out, right? Also, remove Dying Wish because that shit is way too overpowered. Just keep zombies at this level very basic, and again, dump Dying Wish. We do not need that in Black Ops 5. Way too OP. And then again, the other option for JUGG, the alternative, would always be to just keep the system exactly how it is, because although it is flawed in many ways, and although I and many other people prefer the older perk system, I think we can all agree that the current BO4 health system is better than the armor system from World War II zombies. That shit sucked. It was terrible, it was so annoying, and I never want to see that ever again. So if it's between the BO4 system and the World War II zombies health system, I'm picking the BO4 health system 11 times out of 10, all day, every day. Anyways, before moving into double tap and pap, let's just touch on the perk jingles. They could have just set it up so that once you pre-picked your perks, those jingles would coincide with said perk machine. What they could have done is literally just spawn the perk machine on the map and forget about having the perk slot names. For like Odin, Zeus, Ra, and stuff like that, and Ether, what is it, Soda, Tonic, and whatever the hell that BS was. They could have just named it literally perks 1 to 4. They didn't even need to put the names on the screen, none of that BS. So for example, in perk slot 1, you'd have Dying Wish, which, again, we're just talking BO4 wise, not BO5. But in perk slot 1, you'd have Dying Wish. Perk slot 2, you'd have Winter's Wail. Perk slot 3, you'd have Death Perception. In perk slot 4, you'd have Electric Burst. At each location for those perks, you'd see the corresponding perk machine and hear the jingle for that specific perk in-game. That would have been a very easy and much more loved solution to the current basic Wonder Fizz perk machine thing that they had going on in BO4. We would have still had our perk machine. Wow, I'm combining words now. Perk machines. We would have still had our perk jingles, and it would have just added to the map's experience. I know it may seem dumb to comment on the machine not being there and the jingles not being there, but I'm telling you guys, every little aspect of zombies that was removed in Black Ops 4 makes a big difference when combined and looked at from the greater grand scheme of things. So perk machines and perk jingles need to return, and enough with that generic Wonder Fizz perk machine perk, whatever the hell they had in BO4. Too generic. Let's go back to the specific perk machines with the specific perk jingles on the maps. With that out of the way, let's now move into Double Tap, the most essential perk to BO4 zombies that just wasn't there. This ties in with the PAP system directly as well, as we already discussed, and while doing this, we will also touch on the topic of perk modifiers. First introduced in BO4 zombies, I think that the modifiers are fantastic and that they should return in Black Ops 5 in one way or another. Fantastic idea to add another important strategic decision to zombies. How exactly this fits in with Double Tap though is what you may be curious about, but probably about a year ago by now, I made a video talking about one perk that BO4 zombies needed. As you guessed, that perk was Double Tap, and I explained why and how it could fit into Black Ops 4. In summary, weapons in Black Ops 4 feel like trash with the new PAP system, and they fire very, very slowly considering we're so used to Double Tap in all the previous games. So, what if Treyarch made a perk called simply Double Tap, which would essentially be Double Tap quote-unquote 3.0. This perk would have the same base functionality of Double Tap 1.0, but the modifier would turn into Double Tap 2 temporarily. So once you buy the perk, your weapon immediately starts to shoot faster, just like Double Tap 1.0. But once either you pass enough time or you've gotten enough kills, the modifier charges and you now have a double weapon damage, a distinct ability of Double Tap 2.0. This would work perfectly because it would play directly in with BO4's perk and modifier system. It would also make players feel more satisfied as they'd be killing zombies faster, just at the expense of wasting ammo quicker. Therefore, the perk would also be balanced. That's all that needed to be done, and I feel like it would have dramatically changed the BO4 zombies gameplay. However, it was not introduced, and it seemed like it was never even thought about just because they had a new PAP system. Can't have Double Tap now. Oh no! Anyways, calming down, if they decide to keep the fundamentals in Black Ops 5 zombies the exact same as BO4, then we need Double Tap to become a thing. Otherwise, it's going to be painful again. I sincerely believe that. Again, my bet is that they go back to their roots in terms of mechanics, whether it's JUGG, weapons, or any other basic aspect of zombies. So if that's the case, just bring Double Tap 2.0 back. But I had to at least talk about what the BO4 version of Double Tap would have been / really should have been at the beginning of the game, or at some point during the game as a DLC perk. Just a quick reminder, I absolutely love Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 Zombies. Black Ops 4 Zombies, not as much as Black Ops 3, but I still love both of the games, and I'm just trying to be as constructive as possible. I don't want to come off as an asshole whatsoever. I may have a few times during this video, so if that was the case, I'm sincerely sorry. I doubt anybody from Treyarch is ever going to watch this, but I just wanted to try to get my opinion across and solutions to some of the problems I presented, because once again, I feel it's very important in today's world with any aspects. If you're going to point out something, if you're going to say, you know, there's a problem with this, you better back your ass up with a solution. Otherwise, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope I didn't come off like an asshole. If I did, again, I'm sincerely sorry. But that is my opinion about BO4 zombies and what should be in BO5 zombies perk system. Again, this is only part 1, and very quickly to conclude, what returning perks would I like to see in BO5? This is the list that I kind of came up with for now, and this doesn't include any new perk ideas or anything like that. At the base, JUGGERNOG, DOUBLETAP 2.0, Winter's Wail / Widow's Wine, PhD Slider with BO4 functionality, Stamina Up, Quick Revive with BO4 functionality once again, Deadshot Dealer, Mule Kick, Electric Cherries, the BO3 / BO2 version, which it doesn't really matter, essentially the same thing, and then Bandolier Bandit. Speed Cola should also, like I said before, just stay the same as it is in BO4. I think they did that perfectly. So with that being said, that is my base list of what I think should be added in Black Ops 5 Zombies. Of course, we discussed a whole variety of different things in this video, all related to perks, so definitely make sure if you did enjoy the video to drop it a big thumbs up, and also make sure if you want to see any of the other parts of the series that you smash that subscribe button. Not only will I be making videos on this, but also the official Zombies news for Call of Duty Black Ops 5 Zombies when it's announced. We have it coming up very, very soon, so make sure you don't miss any of that awesome Zombies related stuff, and also make sure you follow my Twitch down below in the description. I stream Zombies every single day at twitch.tv/joemat123. Again, the link is down below in the description. I hope to see you guys in the streams. We're almost at 1K followers. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you agree, disagree with me, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, guys.